that was a good nap. That was a good nap. I feel really refreshed. Let's go on the computer real quick. Wait, hold on. There's some breaking news. What? We have some breaking news. Titancraft Season 10 is coming to a close. Finish your builds and organize your chests, Titans, because it's almost time to move to Season 11. In addition, we have reports that Tango Tech will be visiting to tour the world, so be prepared to show your base off if you can. And lastly, apparently the Crazed Goat Man is still hibernating. We have word he has been dreaming about being a Roman. Don't ask me how we got this information, I'm just reporting it. I am Shooter Timecake, TC10 News. What? Oh, what? Uh-oh. No way the season is ending and the tours are starting tomorrow? Wait. It is 2 in the morning. They're starting today? Oh no. Well, you heard me right. The season of Titancraft Season 10 is officially coming to an end. And it's been a while since I've been on here. Yeah, it's nice seeing this place again. I really did miss it. However, we have a lot of work to do. And the glorious Tango of the tech variety is going to be touring the server. And I decided to sign up for a time slot that is, well, today. It is currently 2 in the morning, and it is at about 1:45 p.m. for me, I believe. And I still have a lot of work that I need to do. Of course, I don't have a whole lot of time to show it off. There are a lot of people to go through, so it's really only going to be a couple minutes, and I'm going to just be showing some of the highlights of my base. But I do really want to get this base at least as close to completion as possible before then. But that's a lot of hours of work, and this has been something that I've been thinking about for a good while. What if I do a mega episode to finish off this season and sit here online for, well, not 24 hours, but a really long time doing my base right up until the tour begins. Now, do I think I will actually do that? We'll see. But I do have a lot of things that I do want to do, including this village. Now, it's definitely not going to be extremely detailed and whatnot, but I want to get some buildings in, and I just want it to feel a little bit more alive than it already is. And on the other end of the base, I want to do something over here. I've been thinking a lot about this base's lore, and I've come up with another thing. Obviously, we have our base has a lot of sunflowers. The sunflowers are a bit of a big thing around here. And I thought, you know what? We need some areas to cultivate the sunflowers. And there is a lot of unclaimed land over here. And I thought that would be a good spot. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of terraforming, and we're going to be putting some sunflower fields around here. I think this will probably be the easiest, but one of the most time-consuming bits, because we're gonna have to do a lot of terraforming before we can really get the fields in. But thankfully, there isn't a whole lot of detailing. There aren't gonna really be any buildings. The goal is probably to have a path wind around and lead over just to that village right there, and that is going to be the end of it. A good while ago, I've actually already started kind of thinking about this path. This has been a bit of a plan for a long time coming now. So we are going to kind of wind around here, make a small bridge, and this is where all of these things are going to go. But yes, me, Porter, Timecake, I am back on Titancraft, but sadly only for this episode because this is the final one before the season ends. Well, where have I been, you may ask? Well, there's a series on my channel called Mizcraft that I ended up doing a lot of. And quite frankly, I was thinking about maybe not finishing this series, unfortunately, but this base that we are in right here has meant so much to me. This is the very first base that I have ever really made. I mean, the first base I've ever made on this channel, the first series on this channel, and I've always really wanted to see it through to the end and really kind of complete it to the best of my abilities. So here we are, and we are going to be doing that today. One last episode here on the Titancraft server on Season 10, doing some base work, just what I love to do. And at the end, we get to tour around the base with Tango. I'll probably also do a little bit more of an individual tour with things that I've missed and going a little bit more into detail, just showing off and reminiscing about our base and what happened this season. But my friends, there is no time to waste. We are in quite the time crunch, and I think it is time that we begin over here with our sunflower fields. So I think we're gonna go ahead, whoop, and get our paths in and have them wind all the way over, and then I think we're gonna have to think a little bit more about the terraforming. All right, we have the path complete now. This took a lot longer than expected, but not the path making part. You know how like at the beginning of the episode it was about 2 a.m.? It's now 5. So it's been about 3 hours since the last recording, and it's not because it took me 3 hours to make this. That new segment I decided to record in between and then edit, because I was in a creative fever, if you will, and I kind of was like, oh wait, no, I have to build before this. So yeah. And I'm getting really tired, so I'm like, oh my god, am I gonna tap out? Am I gonna go to sleep? I'm gonna try my best to see it through to the end. If I can't get the village done, well, at least I want to get these sunflower fields as close to done as possible before the tour. And then after that, we can try and finish up the village to my best of my ability. I know that after the tours, the server is going to close for the season. However, it should be after the second day of tours, so I still have about another day or so to get in the rest of my village, so not all is lost if that's what happens. But I have some caffeinated tea, and I am ready to go and start making these sunflower fields. Now, I don't entirely know where all of them are going to be. This is a perfect spot for one at the very least. So we're going to have a couple just every so often around here, and I'm going to have to do a little bit of terraforming, making some cliffs and such as well. So I may have to go get a bunch of grass. I don't know. But I know this episode is, it's going to be pretty time-lapse heavy, I think, so we're going to be in quite the rush, so I do apologize that I'm not going to be talking a lot, especially at the moment. So I think it is time to go ahead and get started on the sunflower fields. All right, we officially have some sunflower fields in. It could be a lot more. There could be some over here, over there, up here, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tired. I am really sleepy, and I don't think I can do any more for now. I can do a little bit, I can probably do a little bit a little later, but I'm tapping out. I really wanted to get a little bit of my village done, but I don't think that is going to be feasible at all, which is unfortunate. So I think I'm going to go ahead and go to bed and wake up not too long before the tour begins. And of course, I'm going to still have some time, so I'm going to be able to do a little bit more work getting some of the details in and a couple more sunflower fields. I am starting to run out of sunflowers, so I'm going to be doing a lot of bone mealing, which is going to be a whole lot of fun. But that is going to be a little bit of a future me problem, so I think it is time that I go to bed. Well, I'm awake. I am pretty tired, but I am awake and I am relatively ready to go. If you look up on the top of my screen, we have a little thing that is going to be our timer. So we have it, I believe, just so we can practice our tours, just to make sure everything is in time. So I'm going to quickly do that off camera before the actual tour begins. And we should be doing a little bit of work, but for the most part, I'm not going to do too much until it is my time for my tour. So I guess next time I see you guys, it'll be with Tango. Oh, hello.
Hello, hello.
So welcome to my base. It is kind of inspired by Nordic and Celtic people, something like that. So this is the standing stones at the this is kind of like my starter area.
Okay.
So if we kind of go behind, we're gonna have to speed run this to this mountain over here.
Wow.
This is the Forest Spirit. This is only my second organic I've ever made, which is pretty impressive. My very first one was actually the Weeping Angel back in the Halloween district. So he's up at this altar. He's been given offerings of cake. I've been actually like pranked with a bunch of cake around my base. If we go up to this building over here, to the entrance, there is like a wall of cake. So it's everywhere. If we go down, this is where my storage room, the rest of like my farms and stuff is. Big old staircase, and then we have a little bit of a secret over here. It's very weird. I'm gonna warn you, it is a very weird area. We have a lot of crafting tables. Pretty much on my channel, in a series, I kind of became obsessed with crafting tables, and I was given a bunch.
That's a choice.
yeah. And I was given a bunch, and I kind of went a little crazy, and I made a vault to keep them all in. Oh, yeah. So I have a crafting table vault, and these shulkers and chests are filled with crafting tables. It's a little weird. It's It's kind of a very odd bit. And then I'm gonna have to go back up. I'm gonna have to like speed run all the way to the last bit, which I made, which was really fun. So if we go down the maze that is my base, I really love a good maze. And then we go down this hole, if I can actually do that. And then we go down over here. We have, yeah, a lot of people do that. Over here is a crypt that I made. And this was, I made this when you went out first in past life. I made a little grave for you. Here lies Tango, the goodest gluten guy. Yeah. And that's about it. I have a lot more to my base. There's a very unfinished village. There's some sunflower fields. There's a researcher's house. There's a lot, but that's about it, I'd say.
Looks beautiful from the air.
Thank you.
Animal. Yeah. What did you?
He's the forest spirit.
The forest spirit is so creative.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is really cool. Fun base.
And the tour is complete. I was really nervous during that. I don't think it really showed through in the video. I've kind of watched it back a couple times. I don't sound too nervous, hopefully, but it was really good. I think it went well. I think he liked the base. A lot of people really enjoyed the crafting table thing, actually, which is really funny. And they really liked the forest spirit, and I am so happy. But we still have a little bit of work to do before I think we can call the base done for the most part. We have our sunflower fields pretty much here. I would like a couple more, but I think I might want to move on just a little bit. I might come back to these, but I think we need to do a little bit of work on the village. Also, wait, okay, I haven't actually said this like on video. I don't think this has just been here for like forever, and I don't know what it is. I don't know who put this here. It was not me. I didn't do this. And you know what? I'm gonna keep it. It's really cursed and I hate it, but it belongs there. But now it is time to think a little bit about the village. Now, I want to put a couple buildings in. I'm gonna do some like, oops. Do a couple like pens like this again. And I think that'll be it for the village. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of copy paste, like that building right there, that building right there. Doing a couple of those plus some unique ones. I just can't be bothered to have every single building here be unique, so I'm definitely going to be reusing some designs, and I think that'll just do. I think it'll work. Additionally, I'm lagging. Woo, okay. Over here, this is where the lighthouse was going to be. I had a little bridge connected to it. I can't lie, I can't think of anything, and I'm just gonna leave it as some jagged rock in the ocean. So it's pretty ugly, but it's just gonna stay like that. So I'm not entirely sure what'll go here. It might have to remain empty. There's gonna be a lot of parts that I think are just gonna be empty, and we're just gonna have to deal with that. Not gonna lie, I'm probably just gonna fill them up with trees, like right up here. I think I'm just gonna put some trees. Same with like probably around here. Some custom, none like that are like really that big, I don't think. and probably a little bit over there as well, and just some smaller buildings around here I think will do. And then I say we call it there, I think. And then after that, we do a little bit of a final base tour, reminisce a little bit, and yeah. So I think with that, I think we're going to head into another time lapse and try and get this village pretty much done. Let's go. Well, I think I did enough. I think this village has been transformed enough for me to call it done. Yeah, done. Let's do a little bit of a flyover. We're going to see a lot of areas that are obviously not done, but it is done enough for me, I think. Obviously, we have some blank areas right here. This central area right here, this was hopefully going to be something like a market, but it didn't really come out. I'm really tired. I'm very tired. I think I'm at the end of like my my flow. I was locked in so much, and I think I'm done. I think I have to be done. I think I have to call it quits here. I made so much progress. I did say that a lot of these buildings were going to be copy paste. I mean, we have 3 of the same building over here. I copied this house from over there. There are only 2 unique buildings, and it's these 2. And even then, they're pretty similar to this dude, just with some different tweaks like size and stuff like that. We have more blank areas like here. Ended up not doing anything here. I just didn't know what to do. And over here as well. As you can see, I have resorted to tree spam to block out all the unnecessary open areas and try and make it feel a little bit more contained, and I think it works pretty well. It is nice walking through this village, and I think for the last kind of portion of this episode, we're going to be walking around our base and taking a little bit of a stroll down memory lane. And this is where we started. Our humble little starter base. I still love this place, by the way. It turned out so nice, and I think this was one of my favorite starter bases I've ever done. And I mean, it's the first one I've ever done, at least on this channel. We have our storage room still here, but very much empty. We still have our doggies around the campfire and a cake. And then this is our little miscellaneous house over here as well. And then we come down here to where we made our standing stones. My really cool first kind of interesting build. My main original nether portal, which I'm really happy with. And of course, we have the really nice background behind it. And this all connects back up to this little tent that I added not too long ago, back in the last episode actually. Just to fill in some space. We go down this way, we begin our trek over to the mountain, but not before we see the researcher's house. And this ended up being a little bit of a missed opportunity with the lore that I wanted to implement. This was gonna be kind of the home of the lore. This was where I was going to put some lore in books, and it didn't really turn out. I did talk about the language at the beginning, or in the episode where I made this, and quite frankly, I abandoned that language and I did a new one, and I haven't really put it here. And I like that language a lot more, but quite frankly, I'm not going to write another book for it. So just trust me, it's there and it's better, and I like it a lot more. Our little beautiful house has also been infiltrated with all the cakes. I'm just gonna leave them here. I think I'm going to leave them on the base. I mean, I don't know about that. The wall. I might have to get rid of the wall, I'm not gonna lie. But this front view of the base, I really love. Of course, this little empty spot is kind of sad, but I think it is fine enough. I really love this cliff, all of the custom trees that I added. I'm really happy with the terraforming that I've done in this base. And yes, there's a bunch of torches, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm too lazy to get rid of them. They're too many to count, so I'm not gonna. And as we head on down, we have another fork in the road, this going over to the crypt, which we'll go to a little later, and then our sunflower fields that we did this episode. I'm just gonna quickly just head on over here. I haven't ended up doing anything else with them, and quite frankly, I don't think I will. It was a nice idea, but it just didn't end up coming to fruition. I do like at least that I have a path connecting up to this little village over here. I do like that. But the vision was that there were going to be a lot more of these strewn around, a lot more terraforming, but I ran out of time. But that's okay, because bases, I fear, are never truly complete, at least for me. So this is just the reality of having a base like this, having limited amount of time, and getting busy. And then we have the mountain, and pretty much the main base. This was kind of the biggest mountain I have built up until then. If you've seen my one of my recent Mystcraft episodes, you know I've built a bigger one, my volcano. But this was my first stab at making a mountain, a lot more of an abstract one compared to a more realistic one. Again, like my volcano, but I am still really happy with how it turned out in the end. We have our forest spirit up here, who has kind of become a little bit of the server members actually really enjoyed it from what I've seen on the tour. Tango really loved it. Another member, Marshmallow, she ended up actually visiting my base just to take a look at it not too long ago, actually. I'm currently recording this at 5:30 in the morning. 2 nights in a row, staying up really late doing Titancraft, but it's worth it in the end. And yeah, I showed her around, and she just really loved it. She even said that she wanted to adopt it. But I really love how this turned out, and we do have a little bit of lore peeking through with this guy, but the main idea, if I were to summarize the lore of this place that I had ended up actually figuring out not too long ago, is that this place was kind of built up from nothing. People escaped their old home from a war, found this new place, and founded a village over there. After famine struck and there was not a lot of crops being able to be planted, the only things that could still grow were sunflowers, and they thought this might be a sign. They created an altar at the top of the mountain, and they would give offerings to their forest spirit, and in exchange, they would get a plentiful harvest. So every year around the harvest, they will sacrifice, or what's the word? Yeah, we'll just say sacrifice. Sacrifice sunflowers to the forest spirit in order for them to continue their harvest. And that's why we have sunflowers everywhere. They're kind of a very important thing to this area. We have the yellow of the flag to represent the sunflowers, the green to represent the greenery of the area. And then comes the main building, the main base, the maze, if you will. Tango getting really lost was really funny, but we have our little entrance room, nothing much. If we come upstairs, I actually did something with this. Literally for the intro of this video, I built this. We had my little to-do list, and pretty much top priority, village. I forgot to give Plover a house. Oops. More trees, I did a lot, and I did my sunflower fields. So our to-do list is pretty much complete. And you know what? I'll just say complete on 5/3/26. Beautiful. Now, if we head on downstairs, this is where my storage room is. We have this little floor up here, which really only houses my bed, my sugarcane, and that's about it. But we continue all the way down the stairs. We have the main storage room, which I absolutely adore. I really love this storage room. It being 2 floors is just, I think it really adds to it. I love the height of this place. And I'm just really happy with this room. I'm really proud of it. I always love a good storage room. I love making a really nice one because I mean this is going to be where I'm going to be for a lot of the time on my base. So I might as well make it nice, and I love how this turned out. We have my little shulker box room, which is filled with a bunch of shulker boxes. I have like sugarcane here. We got the coal. Yeah, it's just a bunch of stuff over there. This is the hall that leads out, and my very, very empty launcher. I just use it as a way to fly out at this point. Over this way, we have a small bamboo farm and my cocoa bean farm. Nothing really crazy. And then we have the hallway that goes everywhere else. We have my first kind of achievement room where I just have little mementos from certain things across the season. We have my Welcome to Titancraft cookie from the very first day, a banner from the end fight, some of my little things I got from the Halloween event that I never used because I just wanted to keep them there, not gonna lie. And then me finally getting episode 10 after several months. Getting killed by the crafting table. Do we remember that? I had an intro where I name tagged a zombie crafting table and I got killed by it to confuse people in chat, and people were confused. We have caked when I got cakes all over my base, and obviously there are still remnants everywhere, and they're going to stay, most of them at least. We have my first above boss, Remora, my little fake Titan shards, just that were there to kind of show that I did get Titan shards. That was also the only boss. No, I did another one, but I don't remember. I really didn't go to the above much, but it was really cool. This was Saku's little Welcome to Titancraft cookie when they joined, and then a dog named CK. I don't know. It was funny. If we go down here, this is kind of the control panel for my bone meal farm. See, I have these little indicators on the top, which I love. If we go down here, I haven't really shown this off, but I did expand to make 4 more spots, and quite honestly, it's actually very fitting because we only have 1 more empty spot, which is the last thing I'm going to do in this episode. We have the trick-or-treat thing, my little box filled with crafting tables that I made for people, and we have all the reviews. If you would like to read these, I will just quickly flip through, and you can just pause. It was quite something. I loved some of the reactions in the stream when Tango was touring and they saw all these shulker boxes. A lot of people were like, oh, I have some of these from Trick or Treat. So it's funny that people still have them. This was from the Zitz Olympics. I did not record this, but pretty much ZF, Impulse, Tango, and Skillsman were online doing some mini games, and I managed to get online and collect these shields, and that was about it. I got to walk around and watch for a little bit. And then over here was from today, the Tango tour. Saku wrote a little book, and I decided to put that there as well. And if we come down here, we have my cool little beacon beams that are kind of shown. I have my beacon controller, which I forgot to show off. Pretty much, you know, I press a button to turn on the correlating potion. Wait, effect. Down here, we have my little mud maker. I didn't really use it. I made a better one. And then if we go down here, we have the super smelter. All these doors pretty much just go out into the mountain because I do use the underside quite a bit just for extra things. We have the bamboo farm. If we do go out here, this right here is the better mud farm that I ended up using. We have our output. Over here, we have my crafting table factory. This is what I use to make all those crafting tables for Trick or Treat. And then down here, we connect up to the vault where we have the Tango grave. And that's really about it for the main base, my wonderful little maze. Wait a minute. We forgot something. We forgot something huge. The secret of the crafting table vault. I can't believe I forgot that. I was saving the best for last, and somehow I forgot. That's a little awkward. We have our little bookshelf that leads to the secret room that takes us down to the hallway that has also been caked that will lead you down to the crafting table vault. We already saw this episode with Tango, but here it is once again in all its terrible glory. And at the end of this hall, we have the weird statue of me and Nemesis, if you remember this. That's supposed to be me. I look so good. Anyways, that is the crafting table vault. And I think really the last thing to show this base is the village. And I think we're going to walk around it. I don't want to fly around it. I want to walk. So if we go past the starter base, we go down this path, we pass these little farms, we enter the village. This was originally an actual village that was pretty ugly, and I ended up tearing it down to replace it with this one. And it's filled with little flower patches. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of went overboard with the stone, but honestly, I don't mind. It looks better from the sky, and I don't hate it. And we have some buildings. Don't look on the interiors because they are not done, because I can't be bothered. I think the only one that actually has something inside it, other than my little storage one, is this one. This guy. I don't remember who made this, but I moved him in here. Used to be up at the entrance of my main base over there. This building right here is basically my shulker monster, my storage room, and we don't talk about that. So we just have a bunch of houses. I'm still very amazed that I managed to build most of this in one day, almost kind of one sitting. I took a battle box break to play with friends. I did terribly, by the way, but we have, I think this was supposed to be kind of like the fisherman. We have a pretty big dock, so this is kind of where the fisherman would live, probably sell his wares, or I don't know how to speak. I don't think wares. It's almost 6 in the morning, okay? Give me a break. I can't speak. We have these smaller houses, and then over here we have Asaku's little therapy place. This is their little home at my base. And then if we go down this bridge, we have the little central island, which is kind of the city center. We have our goat fountain. We have the, like, what is it? The seat of government here. Nothing too much. And then around here we have, I guess, the city hall, if I remember. This is like the town hall. Never added an interior. I did some interesting flooring, and we have a chicken named CK. This is important, do not touch. We don't need to talk about that. And I think that's it for the base. I mean, we have our nether tunnel, and we have a couple other things strewn around the server. So I guess we can just go quickly look at those guys. Our really terrifying nether tunnel. But at least it has a very nice entrance with the forest spirit. I'm still really proud of this. And the fact that I managed to keep this all spawn proof. I'm very happy with how it turned out. As we fly on through, we are going to pass the graffiti district. And if we look at the map, right there, we have another crafting table. We have the crafting table balloon, which we saw at the beginning of the episode, where we had the little news segment in this little secret entrance over here. I have my little view over the shopping district from here, which I thought would be really funny. And yeah, at the very end of the shopping district, we have my shop. And you know what? Let's go see what profits I've gotten. I have checked, and actually I did get some when I have returned. I don't remember if I took them. I believe I did. But you know what? We'll just go check anyway, because I want to show it off. There she is. There's crafting table tower. But we go in. My crafting tables. Well, crafting table crafting kits. No. Sad. But obviously I was not getting profit. It was this shop was just for a bit. Let's be real. And we actually have one more thing in this area, which I think most people, if you have been watching this series, have forgotten about, including me. And it's my mini game that I started and then I never finished. That I said was postponed. Yeah, no, sure, it was postponed. It's Master Crafters, which was so funny that this was so much unintended to be about crafting tables. This was way before the crafting table obsession, by the way. Like, this was months beforehand. I had just always thought of a fun crafting mini game that I wanted to do, and yeah, and it just so happened that I ended up becoming obsessed with them as well. But basically, if you don't really know the premise, it's pretty much a game where contestants are given a thing to craft, and then they go down into basically an arena that has all of the available resources, where they go and get the resources, go back and craft. And yeah, never ended up finishing it. Never really finished designing the actual area. That was one of the reasons also. It's just around the area, it was around the time I ended up getting pretty burnt out from playing, so I took my break, then I started doing Unlife, and then I returned, and yeah. Well, there was only one other thing. It was my little statue of me and Nemesis that I made in Statue Valley, but we already looked at it when we looked at the crafting table vault, but so I don't think we'll need to really go over there. It's a bit repetitive. Wow, it is just so crazy seeing how much this world has grown since the day one. It's been over a year, like a year and a half or something like that, which is absolutely wild to think of. Oh, and then well, I wasn't there for it, but they tried to summon Tango a couple days ago, and it worked. He did actually get summoned. This was actually before, like a day before his stream, the tour. Now, there's one more thing I would like to do before I end my season, and that is update a bunch of maps that I have, because I haven't done this in a long time, and there's been so much progress, and I would just love to have up a map of my base somewhere in here, just to have the final product showing up somewhere. I don't really know where. We're gonna have to just see, judging by the size. Maybe here, I don't know. We'll see how much we can fit. So I guess I'm gonna have to go ahead and update that. That might take a minute. Well, okay. So it's a very odd shape. I think we may end up just doing some smaller ones. One, because it's a little bit more compact, and also just it's less entities. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just make a couple smaller versions of the map, and then we will be right back. Well, in order for it to fit perfectly, I did a little extra, but since it's a kind of awkwardly shaped base, it's very long. I think this fits, and you know, we have some really cool terrain around surrounding the base anyway, so I think it's pretty cool. And I mean, if I did the ones on this side, it's literally just ocean, and I'd rather land. But look at that, our base. I didn't get the sunflower fields in there, but that's fine. It's basically just like one map here, and I'm not gonna be mapping anymore. It's fine. So I think that will do. All right, it is set up. This is where I'm gonna put my armor, my elytra, my tools, and my ender chest, and some of my valuables. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put all these guys in, and some of my inventory, valuables, what have you. And there we go. I guess that is the end of Titancraft Season 10. Thank you all so much for joining me on this series. It has been a blast. It has been amazing, and I am so happy that you guys have followed along. For the next season, I'm not entirely sure how active I will be, since I am also a part of other series and more things are to come, so it might be more of a casual thing. We might live stream on there occasionally, we'll see. But I think it is time to head on to the next adventure. So I shall see you guys in the next video, whenever that may be. Bye.